mbele. Ndio mipango yetu iambatane na maono ya siku zijazo. Na tuko na sababu ya kutosha kuwa na mjadala wakati huu wa vile Kenya itapangiwa ama itapangika kimaendeleo tukisonga mbele.
However, Ruto said he intends to ensure that every national development milestone is anchored in law to safeguard the country's progress and protect it from political opposition. Addressing farmers affected by the drought, the president assured them that the government will intervene to help tackle the ongoing challenge.
Sehemu hii lazima tupangane. Najua wakulima wamesema kwa sababu mahindi yote imeharibika kule shambani, tutafanya namna gani? Mimi nataka niwahakikishie wakulima, serikali ya Kenya itapanga vile mambo yenu itashughulikiwa.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen criticized the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, urging him to stop politicizing national security matters. Murkomen accused Gachagua of promoting divisive tribal politics.
Elections year 2027. Na nataka niwaambie, before you can engage the Kenya Kwanza administration and the broad-based administration, and before you can even debate President William Samoei Ruto, please get out of your tribal narratives, get out of your simple minds, start thinking about even a manifesto, even a simple manifesto of 5 years before you can have the honor of engaging His Excellency the President.
As political leaders increasingly focus on the 2027 general election, President Ruto maintained that his priority remains addressing the country's pressing national issues. Rajab Juma, KUTV.
Meanwhile, Democracy for Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua has accused President William Ruto of seeking constitutional amendments that would allow Parliament rather than the electorate to choose the country's president. Gachagua also criticized the president's vision of 2060 agenda, saying Kenyans are more interested in an immediate solution to the high cost of living than long-term development pledges.
Democratic for Citizen Party leader Rigathi Gachagua has alleged that President William Ruto is planning to amend the constitution to have the president elected by Parliament instead of through a direct vote. Speaking during a holy mass at St. Paul Catholic Church in Marungaru, Kinangop constituency, Nyandarua County, the former deputy head of state warned that such a move would undermine Kenya's democratic right to choose their leader.
Tuko na habari ati wanataka kupendekeza vile William Ruto ameona kura hii ya presidential hawezi pita, ati wabadilishe katiba, ati walete parliamentary system, na ndio Aden Duale anasema ndio wanunue wabunge vile walinunua anifukuse ofisi aendelee. Yeye sasa ameona hii uchaguzi ya presidential hawezi pita. Sasa angetaka kwa sababu wabunge ni rahisi kununua. Pale walokalao amejua kununua raia ni ngumu. Hao raia kwanza walokalao ni kichwa ngumu kama rigiji.
Rigathi Gachagua also dismissed President William Ruto's Vision 2060 initiative, arguing that Kenyans are more concerned with practical solutions to their daily challenges than long-term promises, as he described the proposed vision as unrealistic and lacking credibility.
Siko hiyo maneno ya 2060 wachana naye. Hiyo ni vipindi, ni sinema.
The former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua accused the Kenya Kwanza administration of overseeing the decline of key sectors, including healthcare, agriculture, and the fight against illicit alcohol.
Hapa Nyandarua nikiwa kazini, nilipigana na pombe haramu ya kuua watu. Imerudi haijarudi? Hawa watu watauawa na hii pombe. Wewe unawaambia wagoje 2060 na wanauawa na pombe. Tungetaka kujua mpango yako ya kumaliza hii pombe. Kwanza iko moja inaitwa Gadhurigui, inaua watu.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, while responding to Rigathi Gachagua's remarks, dismissed the claim, saying the government will not allow him to continue making what he termed false allegations. I quote, "We are not going to allow you to continue saying things that are not true." End of quote. After a church service, Gachagua held rallies across Nyandarua County as he sought to consolidate his political support. Vincent Karoli, KUTV.
Former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka has yet again rubbished the claims of him siding with President William Ruto, stating that his only goal is to remove Ruto in office. Kalonzo has rejected President William Ruto's planned vision of 2060 development framework, stating that Kenya is yet to meet the Vision 2030.
President William Ruto's planned Vision 2060 development framework has been rejected by former Vice President and Moipa Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who called it a political ploy meant to deflect Kenya's focus from the nation's urgent economic problems. Speaking at a church service at All Saints Peter's ACK Cathedral in Embu County, Kalonzo made the case that before revealing long-term development plans, the government should respect constitutionalism and the rule of law.
And the idea is not Vision 2060 ya Bwana Ruto. Vision 2030 ilikuwa ni muundo mpya ambao Kibaki na sisi wenzake tuliangalia tukaona we wanted to make this nation a middle income country and enjoying high quality of life that is elaborated under Vision 2030. Badala ya high quality of life, what you need to do, Bwana President, is to make sure that this country lives in accordance with Constitution 2010.
Kalonzo also stated that introduction of a new Vision 2060 framework is premature and impractical because the goals of the nation's Vision 2030 development program have not yet been fully achieved. Additionally, the Wiper Party leader denied allegations that former President Uhuru Kenyatta is funding the opposition, stating that Uhuru is only a principal in the Azimio alliance.
Uhuru is a retired president, but he's also the council chair of Azimio la Umoja Kenya. So hiyo story kubwa unataka kumweka Uhuru aonekane yeye ndiye anapanga, sisi tunajipanga na huwezi kupanga watu wengine. Of course, Uhuru is a chair of the council of Azimio and the party leader of Azimio, so don't panic about these things. Don't make Uhuru Ruto answer to Uhuru.
Regarding opposition politics, Kalonzo stated that coalition leaders are consulting and would come to decide on a single presidential candidate to run against President Ruto in the upcoming general elections.
Sasa sisi in Wiper Patriotic Front, we are working so hard. Na tukifanya hivyo, you know you can also work smart. We are working smart. We don't have kujitokeza kwa gari kila wakati, kujitokeza kwa gari ndio onekane you are there doing something. Wamonyoro anakaa wamonyoro na watu wanaenda. Sisi we are working smart. Sometimes we have to go out of the country to unite and call on our international friends to stand with this country at this time.
A united front would pose a serious threat to President Ruto's re-election campaign. This is according to leaders who accompanied Kalonzo and urged opposition principles to fortify their unity and solidify their support ahead of the 2027 general elections. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now, as we move on with bringing you latest, now the Wiper Party has intensified efforts to strengthen the united opposition by dispatching a high-level delegation to meet Kenya Roads Board chairperson Aisha Juma following her departure from UDA. While in Malindi, Kilifi County, the leaders urged Juma to back Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid that is ahead of the 2027 general elections.
The Wiper delegation led by Wundanyi Member of Parliament Danstan Mwashako and Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua met Aisha Juma in Malindi, Kilifi County to discuss her future away from the ruling party. The leaders urged Juma to support their party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, noting that her political influence, particularly at the coast, will be instrumental in strengthening the opposition coalition. The visit comes days after leaders associated with the Linda Mwananchi movement also held talks with Juma, signaling growing interest from opposition figures following her decision to quit the UDA party. Mwashako said the opposition has been engaging Kenyans across the country and that a planned meeting at Juma's Kakuyuni home will explore how to build a stronger alliance.
lazima muujiza Mungu akatusaidia kuufanya au kupeleka mtu nyumbani na watano. Mimi najua huu ni muujiza mkubwa ambao watu wengi hawaamini, lakini inaenda kufanyika mwaka ujao kwa sababu tumelia vya kutosha. Ile tunaloomba sasa, huyu Gideoni, Mungu ambaye atamteua awe ndiye atakayepeperusha bendera ya alternative government. Je, ni nani? Na najua hilo swali tunaulizana hapa.
Juma reaffirmed that her decision to leave UDA is irreversible, revealing that several political parties have already reached out to her as she consults before announcing her next political move.
Wale wengi ambao wanajua mimi nimehama chama cha UDA. Na nikasema nimeifungua milango nikaweze kushauriana na watu wa Kilifi, watu wa Pwani, taifa zima. Na hawa ndugu zangu wako katika mishemishe. Mimi sitaongea sasa. Nitapasua mbarika kadri tunazoendelea. Lakini hivi sasa tuko katika kipindi cha mazungumzo.
Senator Enoch Wambua described Juma as a seasoned political leader whose experience within government will strengthen the opposition's campaign. On his side, Malindi Town Ward MCA Rashid Odhiambo urged opposition leaders to settle on a single presidential candidate early enough to strengthen their chances in the 2027 general election.
Huyu mama Aisha Juma, kiongozi wenu, kama nyinyi mtaona anafaa, simameni na yeye kujikomboa nyinyi wenyewe.
Principle, msifanye makosa ya kila mtu kwenda kivyake. Mtakuwa mmetumaliza kabisa kabisa kabisa. Kwa hiyo hii message lazima ifike kwa principle. Kivovote iwe iwavyo, lazima washikane na tuje na candidate mmoja.
As political realignment continues to gain momentum, will Juma's next political move reshape the balance of power ahead the 2027 general elections? Milka Thoya, KUTV.
After battling addiction and substance abuse for 18 years, Dr. Andrew Mwengwa is now a certified doctor and has launched a book highlighting the journey, the challenges he faced and advice for those going through similar struggles. Religious leaders have now called on the community to step in and help those struggling with drug addiction.
Mwengwa, once a drug addict himself, is offering hope after addiction stole nearly 2 decades of his life before recovery gave him a second chance. Religious leaders and former addicts have urged communities to step up support in the fight against drug abuse.
So, addiction does not just affect your health. It affects you physically, psychologically, spiritually, and socially. Once an addict, you can no longer be able to manage yourself. You lose your self-control. You lose your life. This book documents the raw roots of addiction. It documents the consequences of addiction.
During his book launch, Dr. Andrew spoke about the possibility of recovery for victims of drug abuse, calling on society to drop the negative perception of addiction as a moral failure.
So, this book is directed to all the people who are struggling with addiction. It is directed to people who are living with addicts. It is dedicated to mothers whose sons and daughters are addicts. My advice to anybody who have never started drugs, I say this: waxam everybody is using it, but I'm not everybody, and myself. Never ever take the first sip.
Victims of drug abuse expressed their joy at successfully breaking free from that nightmare, while a call was also made to parents to stand firm and join the fight against drug abuse in the society.
Kitu hatutatumia. Ukisema uambie roho ni kuamua tu. Uamue sio kitu sitaitumia, lakini ukiamua hivyo hautatumia, kuna kitu moja tu unafaa ujue. Marafiki uachane na wao.
Lakini huyu wangu ni kijana. Alinisumbua sana hata kujaribu kujiua. Hata kusoma ile makaratasi yake alipita nayo, na mimi nikaokoa hiyo makaratasi nikaivisa.
Mwengwa's journey shows that recovery from drug addiction is possible, offering hope to those struggling with addiction and remaining communities that support can change lives.
Now, from that story, we are taking our very first commercial break. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
kula uhondo kwa taka matendo, na bila shaka matendo yake yakazaa uhondo. Bidii na panda shuka zake zikamfanya awe mwanga wa dunia.
Pauline Care ni mwalimu wa walimu. Nilijua nilikuwa ninataka kufanya kwa mochari.
Nilijitolea kimasomaso, nikasema manake nimeenda shule kama wenzangu wa kiume, nitafanya kazi kadri na uwezo wangu.
Inafika mahali ile game yenye umesema hiyo ndio naenda ku give up na uachane na boxing, ndio unapata WBC.
Fahamu mwanamke huyu kwa utendeti zaidi ukitazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake Mwake. Kila Jumatano saa 2:30 usiku, ukiwa nami Caroline Kimwele.
You are watching Weekend Live with Ochieng, Cynthia.
Welcome back. Now, in other news, the governor of Kisii County, Simbarati, has been endorsed for the deputy president slot in the upcoming 2027 general election. This is following a meeting that was held today in one of the hotels in Kisii that was chaired by Bivon Magare, chairman of the National Board-based Youth Council in Kisii County. Magare and Samson Mokaya, members of the caucus, stressed that Arati was the better placement to work alongside the current President William Ruto. However, they also insisted that Arati's endorsement followed an extensive consultations with the delegates from UDA and ODM, despite the party already endorsing Wycliffe Oparanya for the deputy president slot. This move now sparks confusion ahead of the 5-member proposed negotiation.
In extensive consultations with the broad-based political partners, specifically from the Gusii region, including delegates and leaders from the ODM party. In light of these discussions, and of course noting the current political direction in which the ODM party is expected to support a broad-based political coalition, rather than field its own political candidates, we respectfully submit that His Excellency the President William Samoei Ruto should be considered as the coalitionist presidential candidate, while His Excellency Governor Paul Simba Arati should be considered for the position of the deputy president as the coalitionist running mate. Governor Paul Simba Arati is the most suitable leader from the Gusii region to serve as deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, specifically in the next general elections.
Malawi continues to show class in their Group C matches in the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, with 2 consecutive wins already in the group, with the latest exemplary performance against the Egyptian side yesterday night in Morocco. Even though Malawi suffered a red card penalty, they bravely secured 3-1 victory over Egypt in a game that seemed to be in their favor. Now, Malawi awaits the next fixture as they face Zambia on the 5th of August, as it stands tall in the Group C with 6 points. And Kenya bounced back from 1-1 draw to win the second T01 series match by 1 ticket in the second match of T01 201 series. The match was played in Nairobi in Gaikana Club ground, which took center stage of Kenyan's cricket. Even though Kenya started poorly after Bahrain's Faiz Ahmed anchored the visitors' inning with a brilliant 88 runs of 49 balls. Despite that, Kenyans' chase went down to wire before they managed to edge out 1-wicket victory to secure a hard-fought comeback. After Kenya's decisive win against Bahrain side, Bahrain side chairperson Bhavesh Govil promised to help the game to cricket excel.
It's not a magic, it's the passion of cricket we have. As you all know, Kenya has got a lot of talent, and I promised that I'm going to change cricket in Kenya. So this is an example of what I can do, and my team together we can do as Cricket Kenya.
As the world came together for the FIFA World Cup final, the United Nations Youth Office hosted One World, One Game, One Goal, bringing together young leaders, athletes and partners to celebrate the power of football beyond the pitch. The event highlighted how sport can promote youth mental health, break down stigma, foster inclusion and strengthen communities that is around the world, courtesy of UN News.
Here we are at the UN headquarters in New York for this One World, One Game, One Goal, an event which is about convening the global community, civil society, different partners on one cause, which is putting mental health at the center of our decisions. This is one of the most important and critical topics for these current generations of adolescents and youth. Figures in terms of depression, anxiety are growing. And at the same time, young people expect something different. They expect intergenerational dialogue. They expect whole of society approaches, because mental health, it's about connection, it's about care, and it's about community.
Having gone through some mental health issues myself, you know, I really do think it's important that we highlight and amplify some of these mental health issues, especially in the youth today, and provide those resources for them to overcome what they're struggling with.
I hosted one of the spotlight sessions on the role of sport for displaced and marginalized youth. And we really saw from the different speakers that were there just how much sport can contribute to creating a sense of community and belonging, and also how it's different across different cultures, in different regions, the stigma behind mental health, and how that's something we should all be tackling together.
It's been incredible to see all these young people bringing their experience and taking action in their communities and speaking out loud here at the United Nations headquarters.
I believe today was one of the most inclusive events I've ever been to, not only because we've discussed topics that are usually not on the table, but because the young people who brought them to the stage are different, they're diverse. Each one of them brought a different perspective from his or her home country and the topics that really matter to youth of the respective communities.
Today's event has been a powerful reminder that sport has the capability of bringing people together, creating communities that are filled with empathy, and providing hope to those that might be hopeless.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us, also engaging with us on all our social media platforms. That is all we had for you tonight on the 2nd of August, the year 2026. Many thanks to everyone that made this bulletin a success, from the producer, director, those on the TX, on the digital and the camera, just everyone. Not forgetting Akinyi Francis, who has been on the sign language interpretation. My name is Ochieng. Cynthia, have a lovely night.